feels good to be back. Did my annual August little weekend break, but I'm ready to get back on the videos, ready to get grinding, and we've got an absolute banger coming at you today. As we know, the season's winding down, and we know that means MVP, awards, all those things are coming up in conversation more. So let's go ahead and give the MVP for every single team in Major League Baseball as of right now. Now, I'm not just gonna name the best player from every team. I'm gonna tell you who has been the most valuable player for this team this year, give you my reasons why, give you some stats, and of course, I want to know if you guys agree or disagree with me on your favorite teams, or any teams, honestly, in Major League Baseball. So make sure you let me know what you're thinking down in the comment section below. Drop a like on the video if you do enjoy it, as well as subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the content coming at you. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc, links in description. And I want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, the Life A2NC Noise Canceling Earbuds by Soundcore. These little guys right here. And let me tell you, these earbuds are fantastic. Of course, first, noise canceling. Pop these babies out. They've got magnets on them so they stick to the inside of the case, and boom, put them right in your ear. I just hear what's going on through these earbuds. They have a strong thumping sound, they're multi-mode noise canceling, and the calls that you get on these things, they're super clear. One thing I love about these, you can put one in your ear and it works. You can listen with one single earbud. Another thing I love too is my ears are a little weird, so it comes with other sizes of earbud pieces for you so that you can get your earbuds to fit into your ear. And the coolest thing I think about this is that the case, this right here, can be used as a phone holder if you're watching a video. So I highly suggest you guys go down to the link in the description and purchase the Life A2NC noise canceling earbuds today. Again, click the link in the description or type the code I put in the description down below at checkout and get yourself a very special deal. Thank you to Soundcore and the Life A2NC noise canceling earbuds for sponsoring today's video. All right, let's get it started hot here. MVP for the New York Mets, it's nobody else but Jacob Degrom. Jacob Degrom is one of the best players in baseball, like top 5 at the absolute worst. And this year, before his injury, he was having a historic season on the mound. 15 starts, a 1.08 ERA in 92 innings pitched, a whip at .554. What? He had a 3.9 hit per 9, 14.3 K per 9, walking just slightly over a batter per 9 innings, and giving up almost half a home run per 9. His K rate was through the roof, striking out 146 of the 324 batters he's faced, and ERA plus at 366, FIP at 123. Every single way you look at it, Jacob Degrom was the best pitcher in baseball this year and easily the most valuable player on the Mets. I mean, look how bad they've been without him. Keeping on the theme here of pitching for the Philadelphia Phillies, Zach Wheeler. Now you might be saying, Mark, whoa, hold the phone. Bryce Harper exists. In a vacuum, Bryce Harper is the MVP. Of course, I get it. He's having an MVP type season, but this Philadelphia Phillies team is nowhere without Zach Wheeler. He has by far been the most valuable player on this team when you take a broader look at this team. Wheeler's made 23 starts this year, leads the league in innings pitched at 156, struck out a league best 181 batters, faced 615, striking out over 10 batters per 9 innings, a whip under 1, a 2.42 ERA, a FIP at 2.41, ERA plus at 165. And again, while you guys probably want to kill me for saying Harper, he might end up winning the MVP, honestly, but the Phillies are not in first place without the help of Zach Wheeler. Aaron Nola has taken a step back. The pitching staff is weak, but every 5 days you have Zach Wheeler going on the mound and being one of the best pitchers in baseball and allowing the Phillies to win. Wheeler's sick. He's the MVP of this team right now. For the Washington Nationals, it's Juan Soto. Had Turner or Scherzer have not left, it would have been one of them, but because there's just not a lot of great picks, we'll go with Juan Soto, who's still having a really good year. 101 games, 18 homers, 13 doubles, 58 RBIs, hitting .297 with a league best 427 on base, 499 slugging, 925 OPS. While it's not the incredible MVP type numbers that we expected to see from Soto, if this is what his down year is going to look like, he's still unbelievable. Definitely the most valuable player on that Nationals roster. For the Atlanta Braves, it was super tough. I wanted to go Austin Riley. He's had a great year and has really stepped in as that bat that they need when Marcell Ozuna stepped out, but it's still Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman is still the MVP on this team right now, especially with Ronald Acuna out. Freddie Freeman's had an unbelievable start to his second half, and it's shown in his numbers: 24 homers, 14 doubles, 63 RBIs, 294 average, 394 on base, 504 slugging, and an 898 OPS. This Braves team is surging, and Freddie Freeman's a big reason why. And then for the last and final team in the NL East, we got the Miami Marlins, and their MVP is going to be Trevor Rogers. Trevor Rogers has had an absolutely unbelievable season. All-star as a rookie, probably the Rookie of the Year favorite, and he's pitching like a veteran. 20 starts this year, 110 innings pitched, 2.45 ERA, a whip at 1.127, FIP at 2.61, striking out 129 of the 450 batters he's faced, 10.6 K per 9, 3.3 walk per 9, 6.9 hits per 9. Nice. He's just been the best pitcher on this Marlins roster, and with a young rotation that doesn't get a lot of offensive help, Trevor Rogers has given them a lot of W's in the win column because he's just been sick on the mound. For the Chicago Cubs, there's not a lot of great options here. I'm going with Kyle Hendricks. Yeah, I guess he's just kind of the best that's left. He actually leads the league in wins, which that doesn't really matter, but hey, he's got 13 of them. 23 starts, 3.68 ERA, 134 and 2/3 innings pitched, pitched, a whip at 1.292. None of the numbers I'm going to read you are particularly spectacular, but on this Cubs team, I think it's just safe to say he's the most valuable, like maybe Wilson Contreras, but even then, he's not really playing that well. So I'll give it to Kyle Hendricks. Couple rough starts makes his numbers worse. Most valuable player on the Chicago Cubs. For the St. Louis Cardinals, their MVP this year, Nolan Arenado. While Arenado's numbers might not be jumping off the page like they did previously in Coors, he's actually still having about as valuable as an offensive season as he had in Colorado. In 108 games, 22 homers, 28 doubles, 68 RBIs, hitting 263 with a 319 on base, 500 slugging, 819 OPS. Doesn't sound like Arenado numbers where he's hovering around that 950 OPS normally, but in St. Louis, a much more pitcher-friendly park than hitter-friendly Colorado, his numbers actually play pretty well to have a 125 OPS plus, which is higher than his career average. So Nolan Arenado, while the numbers traditionally might not look as good, he's actually still been great for the Cardinals and been their most valuable player. For the Pirates, it's obvious. It's Brian Reynolds. He's by far the best player remaining on this roster, and he's been really good. The power has come on strong. 19 homers this year, a career high, 26 doubles, 3 triples, 65 RBIs, hitting 308 with a 391 on base, 531 slugging, 923 OPS, and he's playing a fantastic center field. He's completely locked up that center field role in Pittsburgh for years and years to come. For the Cincinnati Reds, I really wanted to say Jonathan India, but I'm going to go with one of the big boppers here, and that's Nick Castellanos. Nick Castellanos is just different. He is an absolute hitting machine. I used to call him JD Martinez light, but he deserves to be in that same conversation as one of the best hitters in Major League Baseball. 90 games this year, 19 homers, 30 doubles, 61 RBIs, hitting a National League best 323 with a 378 on base, 575 slugging, 953 OPS. Between him, Winker, Votto, India, a lot of great choices, but I think Castellanos ends up being the most valuable one on this team. And then for the last team of the NL Central, we got the Milwaukee Brewers, whose MVP this year is so clearly Willy Adams. And I know Corbin Burns, Brandon Woodruff, Freddie Peralta, the three-headed monster that is that rotation, has been unreal. They technically have been sick, but this Brewers team took a step in the right direction when they grabbed Willy Adams, and since he's been acquired by the Milwaukee Brewers, he has the third highest F4 in Major League Baseball among hitters, ahead of guys like Fernando Tatis Jr., Shohei Ohtani, Vlad Guerrero Jr. Adams has been that big for them. I don't really even care about his Tampa Bay numbers. Let's just look at what he's done in Milwaukee in his 67 games. 15 homers, 20 doubles, 45 RBIs, hitting 293 with a 376 on base, 554 slugging, 930 OPS, good for an OPS plus at 147, and he plays sick defense. Willy Adams is easily the MVP of the Milwaukee Brewers. And then we head out west to get started with our last division of the National League. MVP for the Giants, Buster Posey. While Brandon Crawford has had a fantastic year, I don't think that this team clicks as well as it does without Buster Posey playing as he has. In 73 games thus far for Buster Posey in his 34-year-old season, he's almost back to his MVP self. 13 homers, 13 doubles, 37 RBIs, doesn't sound great, but a 328 average, 418 on base, 534 slugging, gives him an OPS at 951, very reminiscent of his MVP season where he hit 336, 408, 549 with a 957 OPS. Who would have thought 9-10 years later after his first MVP that Buster Posey at age 34 would be having a renaissance to his career? Fantastic season for him. Giants are not where they are without Buster Posey. And then for the other team vying for that top spot in the NL West, the Los Angeles Dodgers, I'm going with Max Muncy. While Cody Bellinger is completely stunk this year, and AJ Pollock, Chris Taylor have picked up the scraps and really been helpful, Max Muncy offensively has just been too good to ignore. 95 games this year, 22 homers, 19 doubles, 64 RBIs, hitting 275 with a 408 on base, 543 slugging, 951 OPS. He can play first, he can play second, plays a variety of different positions wherever the Dodgers need him. He provides a big left-handed power bat, which they've missed with Cody Bellinger stinking, and he gets on base. You can't ask for much more with Max Muncy, turning into one of the better players in the league. Well, for the San Diego Padres, it's obvious. It's Fernando Tatis Jr. He's their MVP. He's having an MVP season, 87 games, 31 homers, 20 doubles, 23 stolen bases. I mean, what? It doesn't even make sense. 292 average, 373 on base, 651 slugging, 1024 OPS. While he is currently on the IL with that shoulder issue, and that's always going to be a problem for Fernando, even in those 87 games, he's having one of the best seasons in Major League Baseball. He's going off. He's unbelievable. He's the MVP of the Padres. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Arizona Diamondbacks, worst team in baseball, it's Katel Marte. Even in his 44 games, which is just not a lot of play this year, he is still clearly the MVP of this team. 4 homers, 14 doubles, 22 RBIs, hitting 348 with a 398 on base, 509 slugging, 907 OPS. If he played anywhere outside of Arizona, this guy's an absolute superstar, but because he plays for the worst team in baseball, kind of goes unnoticed. And then for the last team of the National League and the NL West, Colorado Rockies MVP, Hermann Marquez. The reason I go with Hermann Marquez is because you're always going to be able to hit in Colorado, but the fact that Marquez has been able to pitch like he has in Colorado this year is truly remarkable. 10-8 record on the year in 23 starts, a 3.42 ERA, a FIP at 3.29, throwing on 136 2/3 innings this year, 1.149 whip, which is astonishingly low in Colorado. Colorado. Strikeouts are up to 9.3, giving up only 7.1 hits per nine. The homers are down to 0.7. He may not be one of the best pitchers in the league, but the fact of the matter is that he gives the Rockies an opportunity every 5 days to win, and he is an actual competent pitcher. More than competent. He's very solid. I think he's the MVP of that Rockies team. All right, let's move it to the American League now, getting it started with the Bronx Bombers of New York, the New York Yankees. Their MVP, Aaron Judge. Down years by a lot of guys, definitely helping a bit, but Aaron Judge has also still been very good. 97 games played, 23 homers, 14 doubles, 52 RBIs, a 276 average, 365 on base, 506 slugging, 871 OPS. Aaron Judge is just simply good. Good defensively, good at the plate, and he's been picking up a lot of the slack of guys like Gleyber Torres, DJ LeMahieu, who haven't been performing this year. Anthony Rizzo might end up being like the MVP of this team, maybe even Joey Gallo, big trade deadline moves, but right now I'm going to go with Aaron Judge. I had a little bit of a head scratcher here with the Tampa Bay Rays. I ended up going with Brandon Lau. It just feels like for me, when this offense is going well, it goes through Brandon Lau, and what do you know, he's having a pretty strong year this year. While the average is abysmally low at 221, he does have 24 homers and 18 doubles on the year for 61 RBIs, a 332 on base, 467 slugging, gives him an OPS at 799, but an OPS plus at 127. So yeah, while Brandon Lau traditionally low average guy, you're not excited about that. Plays second base, could even play the outfield, has that power, nice left-handed bat. It feels like when the Rays are clicking, so is Brandon Lau. And speaking of another left-handed power bat, let's talk about the Boston Red Sox beast third baseman that is Rafael Devers, definitely the MVP of this team. Devers is just really so good. This is the player the Red Sox thought they were getting, and we've seen it the last few years, but wow, he's really matured into one of the better third basemen in the league. Defensively, still shaky, but at the plate, there might not be many guys better. 108 games, 27 homers, 29 doubles, 82 RBIs, hitting 285 with a 359 on base, 562 slugging, 921 OPS. Rafi Big Scoops, just the happiest man on the planet, and he's also one of the best hitters. Let's talk about another one of the best hitters on the planet. Ever heard of him? Toronto Blue Jay, Vlad Guerrero Jr. Yeah, he's pretty good. In his age 22-year-old season for the Blue Jays, he's got 35 homers, 20 doubles, a triple, and 87 RBIs, best in Major League Baseball. Hitting 318 with a 412 on base, best in the American League, 635 slugging, and a Major League best 1047 OPS. OPS plus at 182. He's 82% better than the average player offensively. That's disgusting. Vlad Jr. is so sick. He's so good. This is the player everybody was waiting for when all the hype was there when he was a prospect. Vlad Guerrero Jr. is just clearly the MVP of this team. Might be the MVP of the entire league. Maybe. Some guy in LA might have something to say about that, but we'll talk about him later. And then finally, for the last team in the American League East, the Baltimore Orioles, it's Cedric Mullins. What a step forward in his career he's taken this year. Completely different player. Up until this season, he'd played in 115 games and had 7 homers, 13 doubles, 27 RBIs, 632 OPS. This year, Cedric Mullins leads the American League in hits, has 20 homers, 28 doubles, 4 triples, 40 RBIs, stole 21 bases, 320 average, 384 on base, 552 slugging, 936 OPS, and this all happened because he stopped switch hitting. One of the best stories of the year. Cedric Mullins, definitely the MVP. Getting the American League Central started, the Chicago White Sox MVP, in my opinion, is Carlos Rodon. Rodon very well could be the Cy Young Award winner in the American League. He's been that good this year. And you knew you were going to get good starting pitching out of Lance Lynn, Giolito, Dallas Keuchel. This White Sox team was deep, but Carlos Rodon pitching like he has made him an X factor, taking him to the next level, and ultimately makes him the MVP of this team in my eyes. 19 starts, 109 and 2/3 innings pitched, 2.38 ERA, a whip under 1 at .957, a FIP at 2.57, ERA plus at 178. He's striking out 13.1 batters per 9. The walks are being cut down to 2.5, only about 6 hits per 9 innings, and under a home run. Striking out a ton of batters. He was an all-star. He's the MVP of the White Sox. For the Cleveland Indians, not a lot great going on there, but you still got Jose Ramirez, who is going to be your MVP. 24 homers, 21 doubles, 65 RBIs on the season with 13 stolen bases. The average is uncharacteristically low at 254, 339 on base, 522 slugging, still has an 861 OPS, still a great hitter, still one of the best players in the game, and he's the MVP of the Cleveland Indians. For the Minnesota Twins, not a lot of positives about this team this year, but Jorge Polanco, looking really good. Looking like Jorge Polanco of old. He's their MVP this year. 104 games played, 20 homers, 23 doubles, 61 RBIs, 9 stolen bases, hitting 272 with a 333 on base, 484 slugging, 817 OPS. Now, none of these numbers jump off the page, and we know that if Byron Buxton was healthy, he would be that guy, but because Buxton's only played like 30 games this year, I can't really give it to him, so I'll give it to Polanco, who's been the next best. The Detroit Tigers had a lot of candidates, but I ended up choosing Jonathan Schoop. He's been so good this year that the Tigers gave him an extension during the season for a 30-year-old player. Gotta respect his game this year. In 109 games, he's hit 18 homers, 19 doubles, 64 RBIs, hitting 288 with a 333 on base, 464 slugging, 797 OPS. Hits that heart of the order, has been able to give them offensive firepower all year long. Good veteran leader around a lot of these young players. Jonathan Schoop has been more than advertised for the Tigers, and I think he's their MVP. For the last and final team here, we've got the lowly Kansas City Royals, whose MVP is clearly going to be Salvador Perez. From the catcher position, Salvador Perez might not be as good defensively anymore, but offensively, he's becoming elite. 27 homers and 18 doubles on the season with 69 RBIs. Nice. 272 average. Still refuses to walk. Might be allergic to him. 300 on base. That's 11 walks this year. 505 slugging. 805 OPS for an OPS plus at 115. I'm imagining you get him in an even better lineup, more hitter-friendly ballpark. These numbers are even better. Salvador Perez has turned his game around completely and gone from a defensive catcher to a guy who just rakes. And I honestly like it. Final division here, AL West. Los Angeles Angels MVP is not Mike Trout, it's Shohei Ohtani. The fact that this guy pitches and hits like he does doesn't even make sense. Might be one of the most talented players, if not the most talented player we've ever seen. In 106 games this year, offensively, he has 37 homers, which is the most in Major League Baseball, 24 doubles, 4 triples, 82 RBIs. He's even stole 15 bases, hitting 269 with a 362 on base, 653 slugging, best in major leagues, and a 1015 OPS. Oh yeah, and this guy pitches too. I don't know if you know this. Shohei Ohtani also pitches at a pretty elite level. 16 starts, 86 innings pitched, a 2.93 ERA, a whip at 1.093, striking out 11 batters per 9, 6 hits per 9, a little high on the walks, but you don't care, 3.26 FIP. So he hits at an MVP level, pitches at a Cy Young level. Yeah, he's the MVP of the Angels. Heading out to the Bay Area here for the Oakland A's, their MVP is going to be Matt Olson. Matt Olson has just had quite the season. Health had always been a thing for him. He could stay healthy. He puts together a great season, and we're finally starting to see it in 2021 where he is just blowing up. 28 homers, 28 doubles, 74 RBIs in 106 games this year for him, 285 average, 377 on base, 577 slugging, and a 954 OPS, which would be a career high for like an actual season for him. What's crazy about his game is he has just cut down on the strikeouts massively. He's become more patient. He's putting the ball in play for power more, and he's not striking out as much. Matt Olson plays like this, he is scary good. For the Texas Rangers, who got depleted, there's only one choice. It's Adolis Garcia, who has kind of fallen off since the All-Star break. I think he only has like 3 or 4 home runs since then, but hey, he's the MVP of this Rangers team right now. 101 games, 24 homers, 15 doubles, 67 RBIs, a 251 average, also allergic to walking, 296 on base, 486 slugging, 782 OPS, and those numbers have been dropping, like I said, in the second half. Hasn't been playing that well, but he had such a strong first half that he still is the MVP of this team despite struggling recently. For the Houston Astros, there were so many players to pick, but I'm gonna go with Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker, while he doesn't play that same position as George Springer, has filled in those Springer shoes so flawlessly. He's taken over what he did offensively, and while it may not be as good as Springer, he's doing a pretty damn good job to fill in that spot. 100 games thus far, 21 homers, 25 doubles, a triple, and 67 RBIs, stealing 11 bases, 276 average, 338 on base, 519 slugging, 857 OPS plus at 134. You could have gone with Correa, Altuve, Brantley, Jordan. I'm going with Kyle Tucker. I think his value in the outfield for the Astros has been massive this year. And then for the last and final team here, we've got the Seattle Mariners. Their MVP is no doubt Mitch Haniger. Everyone forgot about Mitch. Didn't play in 2020, only played 63 games in 2019. He's been injury prone, but in 2021, he's looked strong, he's looked healthy, and his play has been great. 25 homers, 18 doubles, 2 triples, and 65 RBIs on the season, 260 average, 316 on base, 480, 487 slugging, and 803 OPS in Seattle gives him an OPS plus at 124. For a team that offensively is a little hot and cold at times, Mitch Haniger has been there every day and has been a solid force for them. I feel confident in calling him the most valuable player on that team. So those are the most valuable players from every single team in Major League Baseball for the 2021 season. I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Who do you agree with? Who do you disagree with? Who got snubbed? Drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the content, and follow me on all my social media, GiraffeNeckMarc, links in the description. That's where I'm wrapping it up today, guys. You know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video. This is my most recent upload. Click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another video. Bye.